I go out in the world living as a female. I feel like a female inside, but then when I'm at home in bed with my wife, I don't have my wig on. I feel like I'm a man again. And it would cause all this weird psychological stuff. It was so hard to deal with. Just in that one day, all of a sudden, it was leading up to it, those other experiences I had, but that was the day that it really finally just came to me in a way that I couldn't deny it anymore. And so I went and told my wife, I got something to tell you. Don't know how to tell you this. I know I already
Coming out part 2.
I know I already drug you through this all the first time, and you got used to living with me as a woman, but now I have to go back to being a man. And that, I think, almost rocked our relationship worse than the first time.
Really?
Yeah, because now all of a sudden she had to look back and realize all the ways that she gave up her femininity to make space for my femininity in the relationship. Like, she would make all our phone calls, she would schedule things for us because I didn't want to be misgendered on the phone all the time.
Yeah.
And there were ways in our relationship where she stopped taking care of herself as well. She stopped doing her makeup, wearing her feminine clothes as much because I was the one doing all of that, and she was such an amazing person that she was so supportive of me that she's like, this is your light, you take it. Here's some beautiful dresses for you. She would buy me dresses and things and fully supported me, and it was absolutely amazing. But when I detransitioned, she had to face the reality that all of that was her trying to align herself to something to make space for me. And so it really caused a lot of destability again in our relationship that lasted a few months until we finally settled back down to what this means now for me to be a man and her the woman.
Yeah. How has that been now? Has it, like, would you say it's stronger than before you transitioned the first time? Or would you say how would you rank before transitioning, while transitioning, after? And I know that one's recent, because if y'all were fighting for a couple months, that means it's been at max like 4 months. So like, still recent, but I guess I'm curious how you would like rank them up.
I'm not sure how to rank it necessarily, but before transition, we were madly in love, super madly in love, but there was always that underlying, I can't be a man, so trying to have sex with her it happened for a long time, but it was difficult, and it became more and more difficult the longer into a relationship that I realized I need to transition. And then when I transitioned, then I had the weirdness of trying to align with, I go out in the world living as a female, I feel like a female inside, but then when I'm at home in bed with my wife, I don't have my wig on, I feel like I'm a man again. And it would cause all this weird psychological stuff. It was so hard to deal with, which is similar to what I experienced after I detransitioned, having the wrong body. But yeah, I guess to answer your question, now we're more in love and closer than we've ever been, having gone through this whole thing and navigated it, come out on the other side. And it is still fairly recent. It was only just recently that we finally, in the last month or so, that we finally kind of sorted out and started to be able to have sexual relations like normal again. Not normal, it's never going to be normal, but as normal as possible with the parts.
Yeah, I'm glad that transitioning and then detransitioning has helped your relationship. But I think it would have been better to make a joke about how people should transition to get closer to their partner here.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's a new relationship. You gotta transition.
Yeah, call that transmaxing. But okay, I have a couple questions that so we're in a Discord server right now, and there's like 200 people here, and so I just, like, whenever I do interviews, I like to ask, like, do you have any questions for this person?
Yeah.
So I would like to do some of those now. Oh wait, before you do that, when did you get your bottom surgery? Because I'm curious how long it was from the end of your transition, because you mentioned the, like, bone loss, and in videos you mentioned that's due to also a lack of testosterone and like things like that. So I guess I'm curious, like, how long was that?